is Nozi Pombanjwa. Today we're coming to you from the offices of Makanda Finance in Pretoria. We're going to be finding out how this idea started on the back of 1,500 Rand has grown into a microfinance business that is now projecting revenues in excess of 10 million Rands. I'm going to be speaking to the CEO. His name is Mohammed Ravachele, as well as his managing director and co-founder of the business, Smanga Dlamini, and the lady in charge of getting the visibility of the business on the map. Her name is Khumucho Di Solwane. Let's go inside. Mo, how did Makanda Finance come about?
Basically what happened is that I used to do business back in school. So what happened is that I remember there was I think it was 5th May 2010, I was walking down with my brother down Church Street, and then he told me that, you know what, Mo, you like doing business. Why don't you start some kind of like loaning people money, this. And I was like,
what kind of business were you doing in school? Because some of us who did business in school, we sold sweets and chips.
I used to do the same thing. On my side, what I used to do, I used to sell sweets, and I used as well to sell CDs. So like music, and then you sell them. So that's what I used to do. So I used to like buy bulk in stock sweets and then give to people to sell home.
So you're walking down the street, Church Street, with your brother. He says you should consider doing that. And what's your reaction at the time?
For me, that time it was just about, okay, yeah, like, let me just do it. Yeah. So by then, so I was like, okay, let me do it. But by then I did not even want to think about whether I have the cash or not. So what happened is that I had a friend of mine who actually borrowed me 1,500. So
what did you say you wanted to do with the money? You're approaching your friend like, dude, I need 1,500.
Yeah.
But for what? So how did you come up with the business idea?
Okay, basically what happened is that I went and approached him. I told him, okay, I need 1,500. I have an idea. I want to put in it. So he saw me from way back that I'm dedicated in doing business. And then he said, okay, here's the money. That's how actually I started.
Talk to me about the early days. What was that like, and how has the business grown over time?
Wow, back in the days. Actually, it was pretty challenging because actually I had to see, because I'm the guy who do one thing at a time. So by then actually I was actually done with my matric, so I was into college. So I had to choose, actually in June, I had to choose what do I want to focus on. Yeah. So it was very challenging that, according to other people, that why am I choosing this and not the other way around. Yeah.
And then give me a sense now of what you're exactly bringing to the market for your clients. What is Makanda Finance contributing to South Africa? Okay,
basically what we're looking at, we're looking to bring our microfinance way different. It's an online microfinance. Actually, you can apply on your cell phone. You don't have to come to our office. Right. That's how the different is, the first thing. And also, as well, we're looking to go into electricity, airtime. So actually, everybody can actually apply anything on their app.
And the size of the loans, at what range do you start, and what's your maximum cap in terms of the loan size?
Okay, basically, we're starting from 150
Rands.
to 5,000 Rand.
And how do you keep track of your clients and your customers? Because one of the biggest things, of course, about lending money is having that money come back to you with interest.
Okay, basically we have systems that our IT guys have worked on. And then we also have a law firm, external other company that we work with. So if there's any default, they work on that as well. Yeah.
And how do you measure credit worthiness, or is it something that you even look at before you grant a loan, even if it's a loan of just 200 Rand?
Yes, we do look into that. As a new client, we have to look into that.
And how do you do that?
We have the system that's called Delphin, that all the microfinance in South Africa are using it. Yeah.
And I mean, we're in Pretoria now, in Acadia, it's 2016, your team is about 12 people. Yes. Give me a sense of the kind of conversation we're going to be having 5 years from now.
I think in the next 5 years, what we're going to have is that we are projecting to have about 3 to 5 building store, and then should be at least 100. We are not looking to open more branch. Yeah. That's more cost. Yeah. So we're looking, the future is moving into mobile. Yes. We're not moving into opening a lot of branch that cost a lot of money.
So less hard infrastructure and more mobile. Smanga, you're a co-founder of Makanda Finance. What's been your personal experience as a young entrepreneur leading to the business today?
Well, also for me, it also starts in high school, selling sweets, the usual. At some point I sold t-shirts, you know. So did a number of businesses before Mohammed approached me to start this one. So yeah.
What was your initial reaction when you were approached?
Well, I'm not one to say no, especially to a business idea.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let's do it. And I had a little bit of money saved up. I was doing some promotions.
Yeah.
So I saved up some money, and he was like, how much do you have? I said, this is the money that I have, 1,500. And
So you're Mr. 1,500.
yes.
Khomocho, let me bring you into the conversation. When did you join the team, and just explain to us exactly what your role is?
Okay, I joined the team 2011, mid 2011. Yes, as a marketing manager. So at first it was still at the flat whereby the office was still at. So firstly, Mohammed told me about the business before even starting it. So he came to me and was like, okay, you know what, I want to start a bank.
A bank?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm like, I laughed at him and I'm like, okay, you're between crazy and very ambitious.
Yeah.
So fast forward 2011 to now, I've been advertising Makanda Finance, getting platforms that are free like you guys.
Yes.
Yes, so just pushing like that, yeah.
And what's been the most difficult thing about being a player in the financial services space, but also being a young entrepreneur trying to sell a big idea?
It's very difficult because now you have to get out of that mentality of other people thinking, okay, you guys are machonisa. Yes. So now when we get platforms like these that expose us, like magazines, TV, it sort of shows people that, you know what, we actually trustworthy people. Entrepreneurs who are really raring to go.
Just give me a sense, Smanga, of your client base right now. Who are the people who are walking through the door or even accessing you on your mobile platform right now?
Okay, so 99% of our clients are online.
Yeah.
So it's your working guy, your mid LSM working person sitting at their office. They don't want to leave the office to apply for a loan and go somewhere, spend money, petrol and whatnot. So they just go online, apply for a loan, and everything is processed in a very short period of time. And that is what we want to be known for: speed, efficiency, good service.
But before you can get to speed, efficiency and good service, you also have to go through quite a tedious regulation and licensing process to set up a financial services entity. What was that experience like, and what would you say was the hardest thing about getting Makanda Finance up and running?
What I would say is you take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
You find out what you need to have to get a certain license. You work on those things. It's basically getting your business in order, getting your books in order, auditing, all that stuff, so that when you present the business for the license and everything can be verified. And
how long did it take you guys to actually fully get from being in the flat to being in premises and really being able to say we're up and running?
I think because we started with such a small amount, we reinvested all the profit for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
So it took about 2 years to get to a space like this. But at first we had a smaller space than this one. Yes. So it took about 2 years to get out of the flat and into an office, a proper office. And the whole time nobody was getting paid, nobody was taking any profit out. Yeah. Reinvesting every single thing, because starting from 1,500, you have to save as much as possible.
Over 10 million.
Yeah.
2 years of not getting paid, Khomocho. I mean, at some point somebody says this idea is not working. How did you guys keep going?
Okay, we kept going because we really believed in the business.
Yeah.
Yes, we believed in the business. We were seeing today, 2011.
Yeah.
Yes, for me, at least.
And the people that have made, that are part of the team, do you particularly look at young people as a
we
staff
look at young
complement?
people, we want to grow with them. So we look at young people who are just energetic, fun to be around, because we want an environment that's fun, that's not too strict and not too, so
I like the initial idea that Khomocho said. She said the initial idea was to build a bank. Oh, that's what was sold to her. Are you still in the process of building a bank?
Yes.
And so how does Makanda Finance now at this stage fit into this big vision?
I think we're well on the way there, because right now we have the financing section, but an investment section. So we're building every year. We've got goals that we focus on, and we're achieving all those goals every single year and moving on to the next ones. Yeah. So in due time, we're getting there.
Yes, because now we have like 2,000 clients.
2,000 clients and growing, and I think that's very, very important. Give us a sense of how big you're hoping this business is going to go, Smang.
Okay.
$1 billion business.
$1 billion business? You were going to ask?
Okay, I was going to say by the end of the year, we're hoping to get close to even 10,000 clients.
Give me a sense of listing. Is that something that would ever come and be considered? I mean, especially when you start talking about being a billion, I'd like to think $1 billion business. Would you guys consider listing?
Yeah, we would consider it, raising funds and all that, but in due time. You know, we don't need to rush anything. Patiently, we're building every single day.
Yeah.
We're here in the morning building, so when the time comes for listing, we can look at that.
Now, one of the things that, of course, you mentioned is that you're having to constantly prove to people that you're not a machonisa business, which is, of course, this whole idea of loan sharks that are operating in the market. What is your view about loan sharks? What do you think, what role are they playing? And why is it important for you to make sure that you're not understood to be a loan shark?
I think I don't like the way loan sharks are approaching the financial industry. So we made sure from the beginning not to go down that route. So we have always made sure to be legit, above board.
Even though it was very difficult, because when you're starting up, obviously you can't have those CKs or those NCR and stuff like that. So we just started small.
So what is the significant difference between you guys and loan sharks?
Being fully registered, following the National Credit Act to the T, and making sure that you do not engage in any of the shady practices like taking ID books and all that stuff. So we've never
and our interests are regulated by the NCR.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic, and maybe just as another thought around how do you deal with loans that are not being on it? What is your process to deal with that?
Okay, we have an in-house collections team that works on them first, and if they get to a point where they need to be forwarded to attorneys, and we have a law firm that handles that for us.
Yes.
So that's how we handle them. But so far, we make sure our approvals are on point so that we have fewer of those. So yeah.
So a quick one on your vision 5 years from now, your vision 5 years from now, where do you see Makanda Finance, where's Khomocho at that time?
5 years from now, I'm hoping Makanda Finance will be Africa. Yes, we'll be branching into Africa, having other services on our lists.
Are there any particular African markets that are of interest that you think would go to
Tanzania?
Yeah.
Yes, and maybe Nigeria.
Maybe Nigeria. Okay, difficult markets, but nonetheless, 5 years, Smanga?
$1 billion business.
Yeah.
All over Africa, and I'm a serial entrepreneur, so other businesses as well.
We end today's show, guys. Thank you so much for making the time to join us. And today's story certainly reminds us that all it takes is believing in your idea. From a walk down Church Street that then extended to 1,500 Rand. Today we're talking about a microfinance player that is making more than 10 million Rands in revenues. Thank you so much for making the time to join us. If you want the Young Money crew to come to you, all you need to do is follow us on Twitter. That's following me at The Real Nosy or at CNBC Africa. And of course, dropping me a tweet on #YoungMoney410. Until next time, it's goodbye.